Hey, my name's Mike. I'm going to try to post a YouTube video. I kind of felt compelled to post this after I just watched some YouTube videos. I just was kind of looking for some inspiration and came across this Chris Collins who helped this homeless guy and pretty much changed his life, I guess. If it's real, it's great. Chris, you're a great guy, man, and God bless you. God bless you if it's real. Who knows anymore on the internet? I will say if it's real, for me, it gives almost a false sense of hope. For most of us that are in that position, it's not reality. That'll never happen to any of us. Nobody gives a damn about us. Nobody really cares. I mean, you might hear some stories on the internet of like that, and that's great, but it's not reality. Nobody cares. I've been on my own my whole life. And all I want to do is tell my story. I want to write a book. I want to write my story. And I want to get involved with men's rights. I want to reform family court where it's biased against men. But a big part of this is I want to help men who are victims of sexual abuse. For the first 12 years of my life, I was basically sold as a sex slave. My dad moved me and my sisters all around the United States. We were forced to have sex with strangers. My dad molested us. He beat us brutally, burned, raped, tortured us, starved us. I was locked in cellars for a couple days. I was starved to the point where I'd pass out. He'd call me down the stairs and I'd pass out falling down the stairs. And then I'd get beat for passing out. And it was bad. I mean, the mental war game in the house was just insane. The games he used to play. I remember when he used to raise his hand, we'd all jump. We weren't allowed to talk. We weren't allowed to speak to other kids at school, and he'd show up at the school and spy on us, so we never knew when he was there. It was insane. It was just brutally insane for almost 12 years. And one day, I read a book called The Cage about a little girl in a Nazi training camp, and as almost a 12-year-old boy, God moved on me, the Spirit moved on me to walk into a school and sit down with a security guard and just spill it all out. I don't remember the conversation I had with him. I remember shaking the whole time thinking, oh God, if my old man finds out that I'm doing this, I'm dead. I'm going to die. But that day, the police went and arrested him. He was sentenced to 43 years in prison. And I thought it was all over then. I thought, God, life is going to change, right? It's going to be great. I can eat, I'll have clothes, maybe I'll make friends, And then they put us with our real mother, me and my two sisters. And after about a month or so, my mom had married a guy that was really wealthy. They had one son, and we were an intrusion. Had some mental problems, obviously. We weren't, like normal kids, I guess. And she decided she just did not want us. So she told us one day to pack some bags. We were going to go to a place like summer camp for a couple weeks. And a state worker came to pick us up, took us to an orphanage, and pretty much never looked back. I've been on my own ever since. I don't know where my sisters are now. They're pretty mentally messed up. They've had a really rough life, so have I. Honestly, I turned to drugs. I'm clean from heroin now. I'm clean and sober now. But life is not easy. Let me show you guys. Let me show you. Still, even clean and sober, okay? I lost my job last week. I put myself through truck driving school, and it's still really hard. As a young man, I had a lot of issues. I'll be 33 next week, but I had a lot of issues growing up. So I've got some convictions on my record. Nothing violent, just like theft and stuff I did to survive. But those are on my record, and it's been really hard to find a job, even with a Class A CDL. And you know what? I love driving trucks. I love big trucks. I love semi-trucks. I want to own my own truck someday. Who knows if what God's got in store for me. I don't think that'll happen, but I have horrible credit, no money. But I don't like being away for like 2 weeks, a month on end. I did it for a while. I didn't make very good money. I had some companies rip me off, wouldn't pay me. There's a company here in Lansing owes me like $3,000. I'll never see it. But I just want to show you. I moved in with a friend. He had a 2-bedroom apartment. He said, hey, I know you're homeless. Come stay with me. He ended up going to jail. And the management said, you have to leave. So here I am. This is basically everything I own. I'm being evicted of my apartment right now. I have a cat I found outside. That's Boo Boo Kitty. She's pretty well damaged. And I've been trying to heal her and get her back right. Home Boo Boo Kitty. Home Boo Boo Kitty. See, she's got a band-aid. She needs help too. The animals need help in the world. We can't forget about them. Right? But so I'm being evicted from this apartment. I have nowhere to go. I have no money. This is some stuff that I've kind of accumulated in this apartment. I'm gonna lose it all now because I have nowhere to put it. It's packed in like suitcases and stuff. Some books up there. I have no food. I haven't eaten since yesterday. Check this out. This is my refrigerator. The light doesn't work. I haven't been able to change the bulb, but there's some water and ketchup in there, basically. Well, my point in all this is that people like Chris Collins, that's great, but it's not reality. And I think it just really gives people a false sense of hope. It's not going to happen to me. It's not going to happen to you. You're going to have to do it on your own. And that's what, maybe, I keep thinking about like trading day stocks or something. Like if I could just like get my first $1,000 and invest it, I don't know, maybe I could do something. I'm intelligent enough. That's for sure. I know I'm intelligent and I'm persistent as hell. But I really want to write my story. I want to help men that have been, because it's so faux pas for us to talk about it, right? I was in Grand Rapids in a rehab once. I found that you could find, it was something like 132 meetings if you were depressed because you lost your pet. There was not one meeting for men that were victims of sexual abuse or domestic violence. Not one. Mike Liu wrote a book that changed my life. It's called Victims No Longer. And I would like to start like a meeting or even like a 12-step kind of program based on his book and his ideas. I just cannot see the light at the end of the tunnel. And most days I'm just ready to go home to heaven. I just want to get out of here and just go home. I know I can't force it. I know suicide is a sin. But sometimes I think, I don't know, maybe God would be understanding. If I just went ahead and did it, maybe God would forgive me and still let me come home. I don't know, but I wanted to share that. Love you guys. Bye.